Over the past week, we have seen gamers rise up, no pun intended, against Sweet Baby Inc., a game consulting company whose sole focus is to push diversity and equity and inclusion every step of the way. They go to these developers. Sometimes they strong-arm these developers into making sure they hire consultants to push a bunch of woke shit into all these games. Now, it's certainly, they're not the only ones. There's a multitude of consultants that do this very same thing. But to be honest, this probably would have continued to fly under the radar if some Sweet Baby Inc. employees hadn't decided to try to censor and false flag somebody down who was doing one simple thing. They were letting people know that Sweet Baby Inc. was involved in the creation of some of these games. And even though there's a lot of articles out there from games journalists telling you that Sweet Baby Inc. is just, they're incredible, they're being harassed, it's just alt-right gamers, at least there's one place where you can actually hear from the person who really started, who kicked this entire thing off, Cabrutus, who's the person that made the Steam curator to let you know, hey guys, Sweet Baby Inc., they're involved with all of these games, just for your information. Over on geeksandgamers.com, there is actually an interview with Sweet Baby Inc. Detective creator Cabrutus. Go check that out. But the mainstream games journalists, they all seem to be parroting exactly the same thing. It started with this Kotaku article and has just spiraled since then. Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. PC Gamer, a company called Sweet Baby Inc., has become the target of anti-woke gamers because it offers consultancy work, an industry standard service that's been normal for years. Eurogamer, Spider-Man Alan Wake, ridiculous fishing devs speak up in support of consultancy studio Sweet Baby Inc. after online group claims from pushing agenda into games. The Mary Sue got involved. Sweet Baby Inc. is under attack due to conservative conspiracy theories. Diversity is not your enemy in a live service world. This is on The Gamer. What else? Game Reactor. What is Sweet Baby Inc. and why are people so mad about it? Or even this right here. How a small video game narrative studio wound up at the heart of a massive anti-woke conspiracy theory by Nathan Grayson. Nathan Grayson, ironically, one of the people who allegedly was fucking Zoe Quinn while giving positive reports and positive reviews of her games without disclosing the fact that they were fucking. Wild that Nathan Grayson, after a decade, is still writing shit like this. But the reality is, gamers aren't buying any of this. The games journalists, they have no credibility. They haven't for a decade at this point, and they're really on their last legs. But the thing that pisses so many people off about this entire thing, about every one of these articles that's been spewed out by mainstream games trash journalists, is that it fails to mention the fact that the Steam curator, the only reason it got this much attention is because Sweet Baby Inc. employees are the ones that went after them. An employee started it when he told people to bury his Steam account in false reports because the owner loves his account so much, all because a guy made a list of games Sweet Baby consulted on. Chris Kindred literally helped Streisand the list into popularity with his own harassment tactics. This is from Sophia Narwitz. All the way down here, you can see dude straight up told people to get a guy's account nuked because he loves it so much. He wanted to hurt him. And again, all because he listed games. Right here, this is what started all of this shit. People knew they were involved in Suicide Squad. People would bash them a little bit here and there. But it wasn't until Sweet Baby Inc. employee Chris Kindred said this. Anyway, report the fuck out of this group for no reason. False flagging. Like, just because it's listing the games that Sweet Baby Inc. is involved in that they brag about on their own website. But that's not okay. And report the creator since he loves his account so much. This is what started all of this. And now the mainstream games journalists have completely embarrassed themselves yet again, especially because the reality is the more people dig into Sweet Baby Inc., everything that's being alleged of them is absolutely true. Now, the media is trying to gaslight people into saying, well, they just say that Sweet Baby Inc. is the reason that all of this is happening across all of gaming. No, it's the attitude. It's the attitude from developers that we need to falsely insert diversity and equity just to satisfy these people that'll hold us hostage. It's the consulting companies like Sweet Baby Inc. They're not the only one. There's over a dozen of them, I'm sure, that do the exact same fucking thing. But the more you dig, the more you find out that all these people involved, they absolutely do exactly what gamers are saying that they do. Listen to this. If you want to see how much Sweet Baby Inc. lied in Kotaku's pathetic ideological puff piece about how they don't force diversity in games, see this clip from Sweet Baby Inc. CEO herself explaining how they force their opinions into games to take over.
We work very hard to get marginalized talent into the industry, to protect them the way that we would want to have been protected, to lift them up, and to get them into an industry where they're too often shut out. And basically, I think to take over in the hopes that some really dope people will be able to lead into kind of a new era for an industry that's been kind of, the same way too long.
Man, it's crazy. It's almost like they've been telling you for years what they want to do, and now they're trying to claim that they don't do that. Oh, we know on our website it says that this is our mission statement, but no, we don't actually do that. I know I've been on camera saying that you should terrify everybody at your place of employment if they don't hire us to force diversity in your games, but in this article, I'm going to say we don't do anything like that. It's all bullshit. The mainstream media is getting completely blown out of the water by this. Everybody's protecting accounts. They're all playing victim. This is how it works. They attack gamers, and then they say that gamers are the ones that don't deserve games. Gamers are the ones that they're being harassed by them. All this bullshit. When it all started, when Sweet Baby Inc. employees harassed someone who was doing nothing other than making a list of games that they worked on just to inform people. It is a joke, but it just goes to show that now, more so than 10 years ago, nobody gives a fuck about games journalists, and they are desperately trying to cling to any sort of power that they do have in this space because they know it's about to all come to an end.